Hey guys, welcome to the Gun Shop with me, John, and today we're having a little look at this. This is the Remington 783 package. The scoped package comes with a scope, a bipod and a mod for less than 650 quid. And we're here today to see how it stacks up. Okay, so I've had a couple of little demi runs, a couple of dry fires just to have a feel of this trigger, and let's get on, Paul, make some noise. All right. It's worth saying this rifle is not zeroed in, so first task is to zero it. We're just going to have take that opportunity for me to get used to it and come up with some conclusions. Right, so that first shot landed about 3 inches high and an inch and a half to the right. We have adjusted. Right, overcompensated there, which is fairly standard, and landed about half an inch low and left. So first impressions is it feels like a decent enough rifle for 650 quid. Realistically, we've got it zeroed. We're just gonna go and check we're happy with it. Then we're gonna go back and I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about it. So we had two shots slightly off to the right of center. We clicked ourselves over and we got one bang through the middle. That was with Remington core locks. They're pretty good ammo, generally speaking, for the price. We can try it with a couple other types, but now we know we're on, let's go talk about the rifle a little. So the market seems to have changed over the last 10 years to the point that instead of having premium manufacturers and cheap manufacturers, most manufacturers now make guns across the board. So they'll have a custom shop, a accuracy sort of side, a mid-level, and then they'll have their entry level. Remington is no different. And what they have produced over the years are a numerous amount of models. This is their latest. To be fair, this has been around for 6 years now. This is the Remington 783. Based off the Marlin X7, which they acquired many years ago, it is a cheap production bolt action. Most of the design specs of all of these entry-level rifles by these big makers go very simply. A rifle that is accurate enough but doesn't have to be built to the highest of specifications. And this kind of screams that through and through. Starting at the back, we have a soft Remington pad. That's going to help because this rifle comes in short action and long action calibers, and it doesn't weigh a great deal. So actually, if you're going to start shooting this with magnums in it, you're going to want that soft pad quite a lot. It has a not particularly exciting polymer stock that comes with built-on sling holes, which is quite nice. The stock isn't too bad, doesn't feel too cheap, doesn't feel too great either, but most importantly, it doesn't torsion around the front, so you're not going to end up like you do on some other cheaper rifles, accidentally turning on the bipod and pulling your shot off. There is no open sight option, and as such, they've actually spec'd the stock significantly higher than you might expect Remington to do on a rifle like this. It's nice, it's good, and actually provides a half decent cheek weld to get through your scope. Yes, it could be doing with being a touch higher, but that's not the end of the world. You can get adjustable cheek pieces for these to bolt on aftermarket if you really need that. The grip has this nice little stylish stippling effect with a ambidextrous semi-palm swell. The only qualm I have with this is it would be nice to see this nose brought back just a little bit, just to allow you to grab it a little bit more. However, it's a good all-round grip. The trigger guard is made of polymer and is oversized, so you can put gloves through there. That might not worry you in the sunny south. However, where this rifle is a global rifle and, you know, that does involve lots of cold, wet, nasty climates, this is a good option. Put gloves through there, and more importantly, the trigger has this little safety blade in the middle, so you cannot pull it without pulling that safety blade in. Before we move off the stock, it is available in camo and is all available in walnut. However, the price goes up to the point you might as well be buying a slightly better rifle. The trigger actually has quite a cool name. It is called the Crossfire trigger. It is fully adjustable and does kind of, it feels all right. That first pull can get a little bit creaky just where you're pulling against the spring. However, the actual complete pull of the gun comes out at 3.5 pounds. And for a cheap rifle, it's probably one of the best triggers out there, actually. Not life-changing, and there's not a great deal you can do to modify it. However, I don't think you'd feel the need at this price point and the quality of the trigger, which is very much good enough. As we said, there's 2 different action sizes, and the barrel on all of them is a semi-magnum profile barrel, meaning it starts quite thick and goes very thin. It is available in 20, 22 and 24 inch, depending on the caliber you go for. And yeah, this little 308 in a 22 inch, it handles quite nicely. The bolt is released via a little button just there, and that pops out. It's a standard twin lucking log. You have a side claw and a little plunger in true Remington style. The bolt handle is cast quite flat and very unexciting. However, you can grip it all right, and it's got a nice little R for Remington on there. There's nothing that is particularly life-changing or nice about it, but it's quite manageable. It's all right. It's not horrible, like we said. That just pops in, back in without pressing any buttons, just in, thus. The bolt throw is quite nice, it's satisfactory. Whilst zeroing, it was jarring up a bit if you were taking it a little easy. However, using a little bit of gusto, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's just when you're pressing about zeroing that you can be all slow and nice that you're not. In real life situations, I don't think that would bother you. The mag is a metal and polymer mixture, and we'll have a look at that later. It's double stacked, it's real easy to use, and it's got a detachable mag for 650 quid in a base rifle. That's pretty awesome too. The action is of no particularly exciting design, neither is the barrel or barrel attachment with this external locking nut here. It's all a bit strange, but again, building a rifle for a budget, you can't expect top end stuff. Although, in reality, it's not that bad. Big gas port inside for pierced primers, and it does, most importantly, have a really big recoil lug. And as such, the bedding on this rifle isn't too bad. You're not going to find it affected too badly by temperature, cold, playing. It's not going to jump out the stock like some other rifles might. The safety is a really simple backwards and forward safety, and you can open the bolt and operate the bolt on safe and on fire. Take that as you will. I don't dislike it. However, personal preference on a 2-stage safety is to have a locked bolt on safe. Just makes me feel a little bit better if you are clambering through the bush or anything, that actually you're not going to knock that bolt open or back or anything really. Just makes you feel like a little bit better personally, but everyone's different, and that's fine too. The action top is rounded and comes with 2 separate Weaver bases. Quite nice. Different bases are obviously available, but this package comes with the 2-piece. Comes with basic mounts and a basic Bushnell-esque scope. I must say that the scope is really not life-changing, but it seems to have held up to the recoil nicely, seems to track nicely enough. You give it the right amount of clicks and it seems to go. Fingers crossed, across the course of this testing, it holds up. Bipod, the bipod it comes with is a pull out and a push button withdrawal. It's nice, it's smart, it's not tilt, but it's free. It's going to get you going, which is again the point. The thing I'm really impressed with so far is this Evolve moderator. This is exclusive to Ray Trader's distributor, and I believe it's actually made by ATEC. It's large, it's light, and I know this is really unimportant, and I don't know if we'll be able to capture it, but when I put that bolt back in, put another bullet into the chamber, puffs a perfect little smoke ring out the end. That and the fact that it is lightweight, reduces recoil, and is quite quiet, all those things are quite good. And in a lightweight rifle, you do really see when recoil happens. The last thing I will mention before we go and shoot this rifle and see how it operates in reality, and maybe even go for a little walk and see how it hefts and moves and points and such, is that it is fully free floating. I know I've mentioned that before, but it's a point that we should definitely reiterate. This is fully free floating. Anyway, without further ado, let's put a magazine full off of sticks at that target, see what happens. See that those 5th legs they put on these really do make the difference. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go for a shot and a quick follow-up and see how it operates in a bit of stress. Well, I can officially say that this rifle hated those Magtechs. It is much rarer than people think to have a rifle genuinely hate an ammunition, and we're 60 yards and we shot a 3-inch group off of sticks. I'm not that bad a rifle shot. Let's load up with some decent ammo and give it another go. Alright, so after that Magtech palaver, which generally is pretty good ammo, I'm going to put some Remingtons back through it and get my confidence back up that I'm not the worst possible shot in the world. So first off, here is MagTech. This rifle hated them. There ain't no ifs or buts about it, this rifle just hated them. Moving up here, here's the first group of 3 aimed at the top, and here is a group of 2 shot at the bottom. That's at 70 yards, that's got to be just over 3/4 of an inch. It's going to be MOA. It's going to be MOA. If you actually spent time checking some other rounds, maybe developing rounds, the cow is now going to eat my gun slip. He's actually going to eat my gun slip. It's not an inaccurate rifle. I will say that honestly, you had to work for the accuracy. You had to work for the accuracy. And yes, it wasn't as pleasant to use as anything else. A lot of that was optically based. Don't eat it. A lot of that was optically based. The scope it's not bad. However, I'm fresh off of using my own optics and some friends' optics, all of which are significantly more premium than that is. It is the first thing I'd change on that. However, the trigger, the rifle, the magazine, the mod are all exceptional. And any rifle you can take out and do that with, well, it's good enough. Most production rifles now are sub MOA, and there's not many shooters that are sub MOA. In reality, not many casual shooters anyway. I was saying we could have tried other ammo, but I was just thinking, who's going to buy a gun at this sort of quality and then go and splash out 60 quid a box on ammo? Not many. So shooting a 23 pound a box ammo with a 650 pound gun package is probably about right. I really like it. There's a lot I like about it, except the scope. Buy it, rip the scope off, chuck 400 quid into a nice optic, put it on top. For under £1,000, it's got to be one of the best packages out there, as long as you invest a little bit more in the scope. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Take care, goodbye, and we'll see you next time.